Hello and welcome. Welcome to this week's edition of CPR's Clubhouse Live. This is the Freestyle Unsung episode, an episode that I've been trying to do for a while now. And finally, the man is free to do this episode, and I thank him. In music, we have Bono, we have Prince, and all these one-name artists. But in freestyle, we have Artie. Artie, thank you so much for joining us.
That's it, just Artie. That's it. Thank
Love
you.
that,
Thank you for
Artie.
having me.
Arsenio Rodriguez. I giving you the
We're we're
government name.
we're both not shaven and looking good or rough. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
This
it's the pandemic. I was like, I've never grown a beard, and I was like, let me try it, let me see if Artie likes it. If Artie says yes, I'll keep it. If he says
I
no,
I
then
I think you look luscious in anything. I think you
So-
would look great in a towel.
nice, thank you. But just a towel, right? That's sexual harassment, and I don't have to take it. And this is a great way to start the episode. Like we have a friendship that it grew out of nowhere to become something more. It transcends friendship. Um, in my personal life, I've gone through things, and I just remember you and I sitting in a parking lot one night after a Puerto Rican festival. I had gone through a breakup, and you were just like, I don't know, man. It was like I was going to a church and I was going to talk to a priest. It was that comforting. Um, and then I was going to insert a bad joke in here, but I'm not going to do that. Um, but people start rolling, like, but
They don't go through their heads.
yeah, something like that. But to be honest, I will say that it's always an honor to speak to you and know that you mean so much to
Thank
me
you.
personally as a friend. Um,
Yes.
if we could just recall some of the craziest things you've ever done before we even get started. I remember you being part of the Puerto Rican Festival for many years, and you always come here. There was one year where we were coming down a steep hill on a truck, on a bed truck. I almost said flatbread, like I'm hungry, but it was a flatbed, and you jumped off while it was moving, so you could sing and dance on the way down.
I
Um,
had to.
and it's something that I will never forget because you were like the Pied Piper of freestyle that day. People were following you. And then the great thing about it is you have something called the 350 Club, right? This is where you celebrate women, especially that are 350 pounds and above. And so
Yes.
you have a line of women that were about the size that you like, just walking down. I mean, everyone is huffing and puffing except you, of course. But that's just one thought. When I think of Puerto Rican Festival, I don't remember a lot of performances, but I remember all of yours. I remember the first year that you were there, and you jumped off the stage so you could be with the audience. And
Yes.
and there's some footage that I will put on here that from the Puerto Rican Festival, thanks to Alex Zuniga, Latin Nation. But if we don't document that of you in front of 10,000 people just jumping in,
Nobody would ever believe it.
no one would ever believe it. But I wish I had the footage of you jumping off the truck.
So many. Let's put it in its proper perspective. There were a lot of BBW gorgeous women following us,
Yes.
and I was in my world. I was in my aura. I was feeling very good that they were behind me, and it just feels good to sing to beautiful women.
The reason that I call you finishing school is because you have this patience, and discussing this with you right now explains why you have the patience to help people get to the next level. And I see all the people that you invest in. Of course, they have to pay you, right? But it's not about the money, right? It's about the fact that you have a business, and your business is that you produce music. But it's more than that when they go to you. When I talk about a gentleman named Javian Angel, and we go back in time, I remember when I first named you finishing school, and it was because of him. Now, this man had a heart condition.
Yes.
This man was a great singer, but he could never get a song to be played on a radio station. because we didn't think that anything that he did was good enough. So in the end, he called me up and he asked me, "What do I have to do in order for me to get a song on the radio?" I said,
Yes.
you gotta go to Artie Rodriguez. That's finishing school." So JV and Angel had a heart monitor. Artie Rodriguez did not know he had a heart monitor. And when you go to Artie Rodriguez dungeon, and you get into the box, I'm right now wearing the JV and Angel Guayabera, because he used to wear these all the time. Um,
Yes.
and um, and Artie and JV had a session. So I'll let Artie discuss what happened in that session. So Artie,
I
do you
would.
remember?
I remember. First of all, it brings good memories to me because I was so hurt when he was gone. But I remember when he came to me and he told me, "Well, I don't know how my stuff doesn't get on radio and stuff like that." And I said, "Well, sometimes we hear what we can do technique wise, but we don't hear what we can do texture wise, like what we can put to a record." I said, I gave him the story about Barry Manilow. And Barry Manilow in his first session, and I'm pretty sure there was like 100 and something dollars an hour. I told him Barry Manilow went into a phone booth and yelled as hard as he could so that he could have a rock voice. And when he went, he messed up his whole voice. They had to cancel the whole session. He went back the next time and he did it the normal way and had a huge hit. I
Right,
said he had to find out the rough way that what he had was good in the first place. It's just a matter of, you know, discovering. So I said, "Hey, Javier, let's find out where you're at. Let's find out what this song is all about. Let's get some
right,
good pieces." And he had fun. The thing was that every time he hit it with so much technique that I would say, "I don't want technique. I want your heart."
hmm
So I would say, "Do it again, do it again, do it again." And then I would give him an example, do this and do that. And then finally he took off his shirt and I see a battery. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Yes." He says, "Artie, I'm sorry. I don't mean to show you my pepperonis because his variolas were so dark." I said, "I'm sorry, I have to show you my pepperonis." I said, "No, no, I'm not talking about the pepperonis." I said, "That's wonderful. I get to see that and tell everybody. But listen, you didn't tell me you had a battery, dude. What you know, I won't tell anybody about the pepperonis. I'll only put it on Facebook." He started laughing. But he said, "Don't worry about it. I'm following what you're telling me. Just tell me what to do." And I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing. I said, "Okay, so then get back in the box." And he starts cracking up. And we had such a great time. He just wanted to come and finish song after song after song and work with me. And I said, "You can follow up with other people. Just remember what you learned here. If you work with someone else, take it with you and enjoy yourself."
he
And
was
there's a reason why
yeah, he was
yeah,
the
there's a
first
reason
person
why
that
I
ever
char
listened.
I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah,
no,
he actually listened to you when he heard about what you said about going to me. And he said, "You know what? I don't hate the man, but I got to listen to what he's saying and find out what the hell you were all about." So I said, "All right, cool. So then just come down." I said, "I love CPR. Don't worry about it. We've been sexually attracted to each other for years." So he said, so he said, "All right." I said, "When I booked him in the studio, he's such a cool cat, wonderful heart." Um, and when we finished the song, he was like amazed at what he heard because all that time he kept doing stuff like DLG and stuff like that. And the man had a tremendous voice
God
and
bless him. Yes, he
great
did.
technique. Yeah, very great technique. The problem was that I couldn't find his heart, who he was, his
Right.
soul in his voice. I fix vocals, but I really rather get it all, like they say in the movies, practical. It needs to be a practical effect.
Yes.
If you can get that, you don't have to work on a computer. So a lot of his stuff, I didn't have to work hard. It was just a matter of just getting, because he was a great singer. But man, when we got that, he had to smile up to here. He even forgot to put his shirt on when we finished.
I can only imagine if somebody walked in on both of you and see a pepperoni's out, hefty guy sweating in the box, and that's
Oh
the
my
same
God,
story.
listen, I gotta tell you, people are so comfortable here. I've had women who take off their shirt and they're so hot in the box, they take off their clothes, and it's fine with me. It doesn't bother me. Nudity is not a sin, it's what you do with it. And so when they get in the booth, they say, listen, just be comfortable, don't worry about it. I'm not after you, I'm here after your voice. You
Right.
know, let's do what you gotta do. And I've had that. One time I had Coro in the booth and it was really hot that day. So Coro says, can I take off my shirt? I said, dude, you can get naked. It doesn't bother me. Just be comfortable.
Yeah.
Just if I can get something out of you and you can be comfortable, that's the important part. So he's in his thong with a little pouch. And my daughter, you can ask him, he'll tell you. He has an amazing body. I know who God gave my body to. So he goes into the booth, right out of the booth, and he's hanging out with me. We're listening to the track, and listen. If I could take off my clothes and chill, I'd be chill. But I mean, you'd have to raise money for me if you look at my body. So we're both chilling, and my daughter walks in, and he just happens to stand up, and she opens the door. She goes, "Dad," like. I said, "Is there something you want to say?"
She was like, "Can't let you go, my love."
She goes, I gotta go. I gotta go. I said, okay, no problem. I said, just go. So, but he was very comfortable. Javian was very comfortable. After we were listening, I'm really into comfortability. If you come
Yes.
here and you want to take off your shoes, you want to take off your clothes, that's your situation. I'm not
Right.
really interested. I mean, if you're 350 pounds, I got to battle a lot of shit. But the thing is that if you're comfortable and we get that vocal that we always wanted, that's the most important part. And with Javian, when we
Mhm.
got that, I'll tell you that it touches my heart. It makes me want to cry. It's just that
Yeah,
he
I'm
was
biting my
so
lip right
happy,
now
a big
because I
smile.
remember. Yeah, I'm biting my lip right now because I remember him coming to the radio station and being so proud. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play this, and it was without even listening to it. And then I put it on, and I was blown away. And I was, this is amazing. I booked him that year for the Puerto Rican Festival. Is the second show that I had seen him in, but the first one that I booked him on. And he brought these 350-pound women to the freestyle concert, and they
I was very proud of
and
him.
then he was hot, and he did the shirt thing again. But the point that I want to make about finishing school is that from that point on, I knew that if there was a person that was struggling, or a person that needed help, or a person that will be listened to, that you will be that person that I can say, go to Artie, pay him, but he will be the one to listen to you, to help you, to coach you. And these are things that people pay separately for, right? And they should, right? And I'm
Yes,
not saying that you don't charge for it separately, but what I'm saying is
they should.
that your level of patience, and sometimes you are a producer, so you do come out roughly sometimes, but you do it in a nurturing way where they get to where they need to be, and they get to graduate the Freestyle Academy, where they can now present their music to the community and actually be complete, because there's a lot of people right now that do need that assistance and help, and sometimes they get turned away by other producers, but you're the type of person that will bring them in and coach them and help them.
There was a gentleman I was working with. He was just coming here to do vocals. He had production and everything already and
Right.
stuff like that. I get people from all around.
Hmm.
the United States and outside of the country. And he was working with this guy from Russia, and he came in and started doing vocals. So I was throwing things at him. He was
Hmm.
already seasoned. He was a great singer. He's a gospel singer. Finally, I got to tell him, hey, you sound really great. Let's try to do something, something a little different. Try this or try that, and we try that. And he would love to come here for some reason. It's a hole in the wall. So he gave me a call the following year. He says, hey, I'm working with Usher.
Wow.
And I was like, yo, I said, dude, congratulations. He goes, Artie, I couldn't have done it without you. And I said,
Hmm.
yes, you could have. It's just that you needed somebody to tell you that there's something there, there's something more. And I was so proud of him. I'm still proud of him. I still contact him every now and then. And he believes in stuff that, it's great. It's wonderful to see that. And I've had other people who ended up working with Lisa, started working with, because I don't like holding people. I say, listen, if you
Hmm.
get something and you're going to get paid, get out of here. Go, go,
Right.
go, go do it and enjoy your life.
Right.
Don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about mentioning my name. Just if you ever get into the Grammys, just call me and see if there's any way I could be in there with you. But I'm very proud of a lot of acts that go way back. That wow, I started almost 37 and a half years ago, and a lot of the acts are now producers. Some people are into film. Like I have somebody right now who's getting into film. I'm working on my second film. There's different things, different aspects. And the one thing I tell vocalists, if you limit yourself to one genre, you may be making a mistake. There may be something else that you might do that might get you your house in Paris. Try different
Right.
things. Try a bachata, try a rap, try a slow song. You never know. I mean,
Yeah.
TKA was supposed to be a rap group,
Right.
and they turned out to be a great bunch of singers.
Hmm.
So you don't know what's going to happen next. You have no idea. And so I tell people all the time, hey, try different things. Freestyle is fantastic. I protect it. It's mine. It's my home. But you got to get out there and try different things. Just give it a shot. Just see what happens.
I
You know,
completely agree. And
and I
and
love it.
in a genre where it's called freestyle, we sometimes like to tie people down and not let them be free in the style. And so that's
No,
disheartening at times. But discussing Artie Rodriguez and how much of an unsung hero you are in our freestyle community, you are the king of duets. Like, let me just look at the list that I have here so far, right? You have done a duet with Chrissy Ice, of course, Tanasia
yes.
and more, AB, Judy Torres, the Queen, A Man with a Dream. Who couldn't forget that song here?
Oh
You
my God, yes.
Yes, that's a song that you dedicated to someone very personal in your life. You want to talk about it briefly?
Yeah, I had a song that if Judy wouldn't have done it, I would have tossed it out. I would have
Right,
thrown it out because the person I was thinking about was Mr. Eddie Rivera uh, from RPBC in New York. He had all the labels under his wing and stuff like
right.
that. And he would give little guys like me a chance to open for It Takes Two, for new shoes. He would put me to open for acts so people could see my face. I owe a lot of who I am to him. Um, and when he passed away, my brother-in-law was with him on the last day, and George G was in the hospital when he passed away. But we went to the movies together, and when he passed away, it just hurt so
Hmm.
much. But I called him the man with a dream, and his dream was to give everybody a fair chance. He would right off the bat, I want to give everybody a fair chance, and he would just put them on shows, even if they sucked. He would just tell them, "This is what you got to do. This is how you got to do it. Now get up on stage and do your thing." He would tell me, he would talk to me, and I became who I am because of him. He would tell me, "Hey, just go out there and be yourself and stuff." And he would put me to open for shows, a lot of shows.
Hmm.
And he was an amazing individual, and so that's why I wrote the song for him. And when I invited Judy, I remember telling Judy years ago I wanted to do a duet with her. And when I finally called her and I had the song, I said, Judy, I want to do the song. It's called "A Man with a Dream." And it's a song about Eddie Rivera. She goes, "Oh, it's fantastic! I love the song. Can I dedicate this to George Vasconez?" And I said, "Of course." So it's two great men who work together to give the kids in the community a chance to be in the light. They brought a lot of good acts out,
And now you
and
pay that forward. You pay that forward so brilliantly in a way where, again,
thank you.
that's why I named you Finishing School. You also did, you know, songs with the Village People, duets with Village People. I'm like, how does he get the Village People to? I mean, like, it's mind blowing to me.
Here's how you want to know what happened is
Yes.
the Felipe Rose wrote a play that was being seasoned for Broadway, off
Hmm.
Broadway. So he gave me a part to play as a locutor on the
Radio.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I played the part, and he loved it. He actually thought I was gay. So, but we got along so well. He's actually my compadre. Um, so he says, "Hey, listen, the guys are looking for stuff to." So I worked with them on their tour. They did an Australian tour. I did their show tapes and stuff. And so I finally wrote a song, and I said, "Hey, Felipe, you think the guys would come by and do Love Is in the Air with me?" He goes, "Yeah, just what day?" And I said, "This is the day." They all came in. I had nothing. I had no equipment. All I had was an ADAT. That's all
Wow.
I had. I had a little crappy computer, and I didn't even have extra headphones. So they brought their little Walkman headphones, and all six of them are standing there with their Walkman headphones on, singing on this little crappy mic. And
Wow.
I got some great sounds out of it. And they were as cool. Let me tell you something. The professionals that have come here made my mic sound like $1 million mic.
Artie Rodriguez, yes. Tonight is all about you. Hi, everybody. I'm Felipe Rose from the Village People, and I am a longtime collaborator and have recorded with Artie for 3 decades. He worked with Village People and on my solo projects, and also when I had my recording studio in Jersey City. I first met Artie for a reading for a Broadway musical, the book for the musical of a gay character called Izzy Sanabria. And so there were about 30 people in the reading, and of course he read his his part with flamboyancy and all that. And I thought, God, that guy's cute. And so afterwards, and for a couple of weeks after that, I was like trying to hit on him. He kept saying, "Felipe, I'm not gay. I just wanted to do that part." Artie's a family man. He's a loyal to his artists and everyone around him. And, I love him so much. It's very hard to work with someone that you really adore because a lot of times you gotta okay, we have to get serious. Let's get to work. And so I'm the godfather of his daughter, Samantha, a lovely artist. His beautiful wife, Joanne. My God, I love her so much. And so, Artie, let me just say, wow, you know what? Long time overdue. You need this. This is for you. You're such a blessing and so positive on social media. And the things that you write and what you say are so prolific and esoteric. And look it up, esoteric. And so, Artie, you know what? I love you. Congratulations on being in the business for this long. And I'm out. Do you still want to go out with me?
I also remember songs with Sanaya, which
Yes.
some of my, just some of my favorite duets. Tara,
Tara,
and
yes.
Edie, Angel Mena.
Oh,
It's like
yes,
it's like
yes.
the who's who of how many people are you gonna do duets with. You have an album full of duets. Artie and Friends. That was
Yeah.
on Micmac Records. How did you get that deal to have this compilation on Micmac? Back then, people wanted to be on Hot Productions distribution. You got to the big boys. You got to Micmac and Mickey Garcia and
Yeah,
Shellac.
we got we got Micmac and they were distributed by a major.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got there, um, I brought it to them because of my relationship with Judy Torres and with Tonasia, the duets that we did.
Right.
I said, I have this album here. You tell me, Marvin Schlacker. I said, Marvin, what do you think about these? And he's like, well, sign it, kid. No problem. You got it. He goes, what do you want? And so I made a deal with him, and I walked away pretty good with a good percentage of ownership to myself.
Right.
But the thing is that I wasn't looking for that to be, and I'm looking at you directly in your eyes to the people in the audience. I didn't care if it hit anything. I didn't care if it got on radio. I didn't want to do any of that. The reason why I did that duet was to solidify who I was in the business. I had been performing with these individuals and opening shows for them and getting paid to open shows. And 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 I wanted to just say, okay, I want this timestamp somewhere so that way people can say, hey, you know, this little guy Artie sang with all these people, and look at the amazing names on there. And so I got my wish. I got my
I
wish.
think not only the Judy Torres track, who is a kind of a unique title, unique premise for a song, but Secret Lovers with you and Chrissy Aiz had a Spanglish version, and to this day people celebrate that duet. Secret Lovers, Amores Secretos. It's just awesome. It's just an amazing song. You guys sound so good
Funny you
together.
should say that. Somebody from Canada talked to me about that song. And they were like, I love the Spanglish version. And I'm
Yeah,
like, okay, cool. Thanks for playing it.
yeah.
But it's, yeah. Chrissy had stepped up and said, hey, let's do this without question. And when she opened her mouth and made my mic sound like $1 million,
Hmm.
I was blessed.
Oh, I get to say something nice about Artie. Hello, Artie. Well, Artie is someone that I love very much. I've had the opportunity to work with him on the Freddie Lopez show. I got to record with him on his album, and he got to do some stuff on one of my songs, Rumbara. He to me is a little ray of sunshine because he just brings joy wherever he is. He's happy, go lucky. He loves what he does. He loves his family. He loves his friends. He loves his children. What can I say? I have nothing but nice things to say about him. Send me my check in the mail, okay, Artie? But anyway, like I was saying, I just thank God that I am able to, just say how much I love him and what a good friend he is to me and has been to me and so many other people, and how much he's loved by so many people. And it's beautiful that we get to honor you, Artie, today, and let you know how much we love you. So keep being who you are, and know that you are loved, my friend, my little ray of sunshine. Yeah, we do love you, Artie. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I was blessed.
What was
That was a blessing.
what was your first song ever recorded on 12-inch?
12-inch. That was I did a song called "Oh My Heart" way back in the days,
1989.
and it was put out with Ed Adams, who was part of Two Black Men, a Puerto Rican Dominican with Tanya Wynn.
Right.
And he loved the house music that I was doing. He liked that I was Latin, and he liked that I wore a bolero jacket. He loved all of that. He put me to do shows with these huge radio stations and a lot of big audiences. It was kind of like a miniature tour, but that was my first thing on 12-inch. Oh My Heart.
I remember back in 1990 listening to "You Are the Reason," and I am lucky to have a 12-inch record autographed by you of "You Are the Reason," and it's one of my
Wow.
biggest treasures. There's a lot of freestyle collectors of 12-inch records, right? And they're always offering obscene amount of money for 12-inch records. So somebody offered me a pretty penny for it, but I'm like, I can't part with it. It's just not in my nature to.
I got to be honest with you. I bugged out because a friend of mine that I know for many years had bought that record, You Are the Reason. And he paid, I think it was like $400 for a 12-inch. And I said, listen, I have a 12-inch. And he bought it. I was like, so he had to bring it by for me to sign it because he
Wow.
couldn't believe that he found that record. He found that it wasn't, I'm sorry, it was the acetate.
Yes.
That he bought, which was
I have no idea why.
From.
I have no idea why the acetate now is like the collector's collector item. But hey, man, if they want to pay a pretty penny, man, I got some acetate here. Give me a call.
He bought a piece of glass because acetate is glass. So
right,
when
exactly.
he came by and he brought it to me, he took it out with gloves, and I just signed it and he put it back in.
He's like, don't press too hard. That's just the way that it is.
Don't mess up my record.
Yeah. In 1995, Exit Records came onto the scene. This is based out of Florida, and
yes,
I heard now that it's over in 1995, and I had this compilation with the palms, and it was a tropical, CD that I got. But how did you connect with Exit Records? Because that also was the new home of Johnny O.
Actually, Johnny helped to really build that record label. We did a show in Detroit. No, I believe it's in Chicago, Detroit. And we were at a radio station sitting down, and Johnny did something that was pretty unbelievable. He stood up in front of all of us and said, if I ever offended you by acting like a star, and I walked by you and I acted like I didn't recognize you, I want to apologize to you right now.
Wow.
That totally floored me. And we all clapped and we hugged him and we said, yo, you know what? You're aces in our book. That no one would ever say anything like that. And you did. And now we know who you are. Now that's why we call him Pastor Johnny O.
We just blend the mustache. That's what it was. The Zorro mustache made him that way.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So we had done a show and I said, Johnny, I have a song. I'm ready to leave the business. And I'm wondering if you want to purchase it. I got it. You could go ahead and take it. So he said, yeah, let me hear it. Go on stage and let you perform it. So I went on stage and performed it, and the response was amazing. I don't like saying how amazing. I just say it's amazing.
Right.
So it was so amazing they invited me back 4 more times. So I stepped off the stage and I said, well, what do you think, Johnny? He goes, you're not quitting. You're not giving me that song. You're gonna do it. I'm taking that to Exit, and George is gonna call you. And I said, are you sure? I said, are you sure you don't want it? And he goes, no, man, you got to do that song. And he took the tape. We had a cassette. I give him a tape, and he took it to Florida, and I was on Exit Records. I got money up front. I got played on a lot of radio stations because of it. It was really wonderful. If it wasn't for Johnny, I'll be honest, I would have sold that song to somebody else and gotten out of the business. And Johnny just stopped that completely, which is why whenever Johnny calls me for something, I'm there. There's not even a dollar value to that.
Right. And the thing about you being on Exit at that time is the fact that you ended up on this compilation, and not only was Now That It's Over on there, but there was this other song called I Can't Resist. And I wasn't privy to the song until I took this dark, very vengeful night trip with Angel Mena in the car the night he almost killed us. But Angel Mena is my brother. We talk about this story all the time. But at that time I had gone through another breakup. Jeez, but he was like my right hand man at the time, and I would hang with him. I was in my early 20s, and he popped in the cassette to I Can't Resist, and he just kept on forwarding the cassette because it didn't have rewind. So we would hear the song, put it on the other side, forward it, and then put it again so we can listen to it. And even though he almost killed me that night because he kept on eating lights that night, I just remember that it was just a song that we would sing together. I don't know how to sing, and Angel Mena is an excellent singer, but we
He's
would
a
just
beast.
sing.
Yeah, he's a beast.
We would sing our hearts out to "I Can't Resist." I don't know why it just touched us,
Wow.
but it's just a song that to me it's near and dear to my heart because it just brings me back to a time where it was me and my pal and almost dying in a car accident because he's eating lights, but also listening to I Can't Resist over and over again on this cassette that he had, and then just blowing up the speakers, whatever crackety little speakers you had in the back, but it just brought me to that, and when we talk about exit records, we have to talk about the song I Believed, because that's the one that ended up on a bunch of mixtapes, Tim Spinning Shomer. Back then it
My
wasn't like,
God.
yeah,
Everywhere.
it wasn't like back then you could just transfer files, like back then if you want to transfer
No.
one file it'd take you a day, you know what I mean? But the fact that I got this Chicago mixtape and I got this mix by Tim Spinning Shomer, and it had the song in there, I Believe, in 1996. It was just like, wow, I still know it by heart. When I listen to this Tim Spinning Shomer mega mix, I know when your song's coming on. I know what parts are going to be sung on it.
Wow.
I know the echo part,
Wow.
it's just so your time
He told me he was gonna he had called me and said, "Yo, I really love that song," and I said, "Man, thank you so much." It was an uplifting moment because after a while, when you in this business, a lot of record companies and a lot of people have a way of not saying how good you're doing, only
Mhm.
so that you don't ask for more.
Right.
And so when I was approached by that and he called me, I said, "Man, I would love to do an interview." Sure, of course I would. Thank you so much. I could care if his radio station was in a basement and he lived with his mom. I really didn't care. I
Right.
was doing something with the music, and I said, "Sure, I'll get on there. We'll talk." But then I started getting stuff from like people playing it in Germany and Italy, and I'm like, "What?" I'm like, when was anybody supposed to tell me this? When anyone can tell me, give me a hint? When and in those days you didn't have the internet, you didn't know, you didn't
Right.
know what was going on, and for that to hear that, it just makes my heart just flutter. Tim Spinning Shomer is instrumental in a lot of new songs and new music. He's
Yeah.
really has an open mind and a heart. He's an
Yeah,
amazing man.
to me he's always the GOAT, and I just think he's the GOAT because if you could memorize somebody's mixtape, I mean that means something. The way that they told the story
Yes.
on the mixtape, it's like you memorized it for a reason because you just love it. I can play the whole mixtape in my mind and know where all the mixes are and how to blend it. It's just amazing. I love the part where he has Tara Waiting for Your Love on there. It sounds like she's just getting shake because he only had the vocals. You know what I mean? And I just remember how I'm like, how did he get the vocals only? But he had these tricks where he only had the acapella and he'd take the music out, something that you couldn't have done back then without some type of trick and chicanery and I don't know if
Reel
he
to
did it.
reel tape. Yeah.
Yeah, man,
Reel to
he's a
reel. I
master.
remember sending it to him. Yeah. 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 I
Yeah.
remember doing that. Yeah.
I always talk about the people that you have assisted. So I'm gonna just mention names and you tell me what you think about when I mention these names. So I'm gonna say Edie. What do you think when you hear the name Edie?
With Evie, my heart is smiling. Um, there was something about her voice and little hidden gems that I found. I remember her telling me about her cancer, and she wanted a song that would really stand out and tell the story.
Right.
And all she had to do was show me the piece of paper, and I came up with "I Stand." Um, and a lot of people didn't understand what the song meant. I said when I did the picture, I said let's take a picture. We picked out a picture where she was sitting, And I'm like, people are really taking this literal, but once they hear the song, they'll understand that no matter, even if you're laying down with cancer, you're still standing strong. And I told, when she did that, it took me a day to write that song because she said it with such sincerity and such respect. Uh, it was our first time working together, and she's been, I call her little sis. She's like family to me. And I adore her. I have nothing but beautiful memories from her, and we're constantly growing together.
Are
She's
you
an amazing twinkle. She's a twinkle in my eye.
How important is Artie to me professionally? He's my mentor. He has a passion and a dedication to our projects, whether it's music, videos, our bios. He has just a dedication to see everything through and see it through well done. Personally, he's my father. He guides me. He lifts me up. He always tells me, just be you. Don't follow any cliques, any groups, just be you. You have a path and you have to follow that path. And just work hard. That's the only thing. Work hard, be humble, and stay true to yourself. And I treasure that, and I honor him for accepting me as a artist, as a sister, family, because family is a big word and there's a lot of trust there. And I love him.
So I'm going to give you another name, Freddie the Ed Rivera.
Wow. I would talk to him every morning, like every other morning. I would send a prayer, and I would tell him that he's in my back pocket. And we had a love affair.
I know.
And uh, he was always in my back pocket. I said the only man who could be in my back pocket, and it's a phrase. When something is so cute, you just take it and put it in your back pocket, take it home. And I remember every time that I would call him, and I know people, it's hard to understand the spiritual world, but there were times when I felt I had to talk to him. And out of the clear blue sky, I would just send him a prayer. And I say, today's pain is a victory for you tomorrow. Uh, and I remember writing a bunch of stuff, and he would just call me and say, you don't understand how much pain I'm in. And you just wrote that for no reason. I mean, I wasn't even thinking about you. I said, but I was thinking about you. Something came to my heart to tell you, don't worry about it. God's got you. No matter what happens, God's got you. And those intimate moments were important to me. And one day he sent me an instrumental. And I never take instrumentals from other people. I don't do that because if you do something to it, then there's a whole bunch of legalities you have to go through. But with Freddie, there was something about the song that he sent me, the music that he sent me. And he said, what do you think you could do with this? And I said, well, let me hear it. So he sent it to me, and I was floored. I wrote the song, I'm not kidding you, in 10 minutes. And in the video, I'm by the window in my video with the curtains. That's where I wrote the song. And I said, I called him up and I said, he says, wow, that was fast. I said, Freddie, this is inspired. This is something that I want to do, but I don't want to sell the music. I don't want to sell the song. I want to give it out. I said, there's one individual that I have to call because I promised him 10 years ago that I would want to do a duet with him and praise the Lord. and bring the Lord into our hearts and send a message that you're not alone. So after I finished the song, I remember him screaming on the phone. I'm not kidding you. He was, what? Oh my God, I can't believe it. He goes, you did this in 10 minutes. I can't believe it. And I said, and guess what? We got Johnny O to do the duet. I said, I promised him 10 years ago he's going to do this one with me. And we're going to have him do it. And it's fantastic. It's going to be awesome. And Johnny heard it, and he thought I produced the music at first. I said, no. My surprise was that it was Mr. Rivera who did it. I said, it wasn't me. It was him. What I had done to the production was I redid the drums and I added piano riffs to take it to church. And Freddie was wonderful with that. After I finished the song and I sent it to him, Freddie was crying. Freddie was screaming. Freddie was like outrageously happy. And I said, listen, whatever happens, whatever I do with the song, your name will always be mentioned with the song. You will always be up front with me. I will always have you. So we put out the copyrights with his name on it and made sure that he got all the logistic parts out of the way and he's well protected. And the night before he passed away, I was listening to the song, and then just something in my heart told me it was over. He didn't need to call me or he just texted me the day before and said, I feel like I'm dying. And I said, listen, I got you in my prayers, man. Don't worry about it. You're going to be good because I have in my heart that you're going to see God. And one day, I don't care what you believe in, you're going to answer to a higher power for all the good and the bad that you've done. And that's what I believe. And when they said that he passed away, it was a pain that was hard to digest. To this day, it still kills me. And I'm pretty sure, man, he was very gregarious and loving with a lot of people. So to all of us, he made a difference in our lives with his laughter, with his prayers and stuff. And he touched a lot of people, whether people like to hear that or not. I really don't care. I gotta be honest with you. Freddie was a touching soul, and he was a big piece of my life. And that song will live on forever because I still get emails about it. They sing it in churches, and I'm so proud of that. And he was proud of that. And I would call him and let him know, hey, they're singing this at a church, dude. They're playing the music, and he was like so happy. And I said, no matter what happens, this goes out for free. People get this for free. I said, our payment will be after we're gone. Our payment will be in heaven because we don't see the riches in heaven. We don't think that it exists. But we have to understand that the spiritual side is hard to see because we're in the flesh. And so I told him, don't worry about it. We're building riches somewhere else. But this is going to be for free. And so Johnny O agreed to it. We all agreed to it. Let's put this out. And it was amazing to work with him. He was so easy to work with. And I had him mix and master it. He said,
give him a little work. Yes.
Yeah, he said, Artie, can you listen? I said, listen, you're giving me a whole bunch of things. I'm telling you, yes, go right ahead. Mix and master. Okay, cool. It's like he was really happy. He knew he was going to do it. He learned some things that he wanted to do to it. I said, go ahead, go. And that's the original version. I won't touch it because he simply touched it. And I said, that's what I wanted. And he was so proud, so proud. I miss him very much. I miss our conversations. I'm sorry that I rolled on. It's just
no. This is your episode, and the reason why I asked that is so you're able to express yourself, because sometimes we don't get that opportunity to not only give credit to the people that have become finishing school, while they're doing it, because you're still doing it now. You've been doing it for a good 20-something years, in my eyes, helping people. But we also have to pay homage to the ones that also helped us or were part of our team and part of the people that cheered us. So that's why I asked you about Freddie the Ed Rivera, because Who Against Me, Johnny O, Artie Rodriguez, amazing song.
Hello, hello, hello. This is Sanaya coming at you. I just wanted to say I'm so happy and so grateful to be able to bring tribute to my longtime friend, Artie Rodriguez. Rodriguez is in the house. That's right. Well, anyway, he knows I'm super silly, so I'm sure he'll appreciate that. I met Artie back in the late 90s, and we worked on a song called Unfaithful. Open Arms. And it was a wonderful experience to be able to co-write together. He's truly someone who is gifted and so invested in what he does. He really takes the time to help the artist grow. I know he did for me, pushing me beyond my limits and helping me to expand that vocally and also in writing. I'm just so grateful to have worked with him and had that opportunity. More recently, he's helped me with a Spanish project that I'm working on with mastering. And, you know, he doesn't only just look for the song and its technical aspects, but he sees the whole song in its entirety. He sees and seeks beyond what's in front of him to enhance it in every way possible, not only technically, but just hearing different things in the background and maximizing the impact that it'll make with the hearer. I'm telling you, he does so much. He does so much and he invests so much. And when he says that, when we thank him, his first thing is, I'm glad that you trusted me with it. And that is surely one thing 100% true. To bring something that's so personal to you into his hands, that is total trust. And what better hands to put it in? That's on a technical aspect. He's really good at what he does. He's continuing to learn. He's continuing to grow and always gives that edge, that Artie Rodriguez edge that not everyone possesses. On a personal note, as a person, he is just a wonderful, wonderful person. He is true to the heart. What you see is what you get. He is invested in you, not only for music, but just invested in you as a person. He's always encouraging, always helping people to know that they're not alone in anything. I can't tell you how many times I've messaged him and saying, Artie, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. And he laughs and I laugh. But, being able to give encouragement, being able to give guidance and just leading you to the right things to do in regards, not only to music, but just in general. I'm so happy and so proud that he is receiving this honor because he is totally deserving of it. And Artie, congratulations for every kudos, for every message that you get, for every video that is submitted and sent. You deserve it all. God bless you. And I pray that God will encourage you to continue to do what you do and to continue to open opportunities and doors that will blow your mind.